Hello and welcome back to the OGA Pit Latin America Qualifiers Playday 4, our penultimate playday. I'm Stern and joined once again by the lovely Demo.
We talked about this.
Yeah,
we
but,
wanted a pun.
I think you're lovely.
Where's
Demo,
the pun?
We're going to be moving into our final best of three. It's going to be Guardians Imperium versus Black Dragons for our final semi-finalists to be decided. Let's have a look at the bracket and see how that does play out. As you can see, Team Liquid and Ints are going to be facing each other in the semi-final there to decide who goes to the LAN.
Yes.
And MIBR, surprisingly in a huge upset, take down Team 1 and are going to be waiting for their opponents here.
Yeah, MIBR just hacked and slashed away at Team 1, and now we have our final quarter-final, and it's Guardians going up against Black Dragons, so CL against PL, and it's a Pro League team, not like Elevate and INTZ. They actually had an all-right season.
Yeah, the Black Dragons had an okay season. Guardians had an okay season of Challenger League as well. They finished 4th last night as well. So, they're going to be content with that. They've got Challenger League, but this is really for both of these teams. They have nothing else going on. This is it for them. They've got to make OGA or else basically it's their season done.
I don't think it's like a must-do, because you're going up against MIBR. That's like the thing you have to realize is that we're not expecting both of these teams to be at Croatia. You know, if they are, then heck. What an upset, you know, what a real story to kind of look at. You look at Guardians Imperium in their matchup last time, they just kind of walked in, took the win, and went home again. You know, they completely trumped 6-6ers. It was a 7-2-7-1 Slaughterhouse. And then Black Dragons, they actually had like an okay time against Supernova, another Challenger League team. They just about scraped by in the second map, but still, Black Dragons showed us that they are like a formidable team to be dealt with. I think that Guardians, they will struggle.
Yep. Supernova are the bottom of the table, though, however, in Challenger League, so not exactly like a very equal matchup, but we are going to be going into the map bans and see exactly where we are going to be going for this matchup, our final best of 3 of the night, unfortunately, as we'll see how it is going to be going down and where we're going to be banning. Well, Guardians are going to take Border immediately off the board, followed by a coastline ban by Black Dragons, so what do you think about that, Demo?
Intriguing. I think the Border ban... Honestly, I think it's well played by Guardians. Black Dragons, I feel, just have like the clear, better fraggers in this matchup. I don't think we can debate that. You look at like Black Dragons in general. I thought they had like a really good time in their series, being able to win, you know, those 1v1s. You look at the players they have. Panico's the guy who comes to mind, and then even Wag as well, who we know has history on NIP. So there's like a lot of things that Black Dragons really have going for them. The last time that Guardians played, they played Club and they played Cafe, and then Dragons, they played Consulate and they played Bank. So each of them did play different maps, and Villa and Bank locked in. Okay. I was kind of expecting Bank. I think Bank's like a normal thing that we should always be expecting in Latin America. Villa off first, though. I wasn't really expecting that straight in from Guardians.
Yeah, another Villa pick coming through. Very, very, very defender-sided kind of map, so hopefully I would assume that Black Dragons would pick defense on that. I'm going to go to Bank, so yeah, another defender-sided map quite heavily, so Conscious is going to be banned out by Guardians, Blood Dragons are going to ban out Cafe Dostoevsky, and it's going to leave us with another Clubhouse. So we've seen a few of these maps before, but not in this order. What do we think of this? I think this favors Black Dragons a little better, honestly.
Yeah, I think... I don't know. Guardians, they did play Club in their last play day as well, and they actually had like a really good time. They won 7-2 in that map, and most of their wins were actually on the attacking phase as well, which is an easy thing to do. Of course, it was against 6-6ers, who were not really comparing them against Black Dragons because there is a massive skill gap. I still think overall, it's not too bad for either side. I think Phil is going to be the big decider. I don't see Black Dragons dropping Bank. I really don't see that happening.
Well, we'll see what happens as we are going to be heading into our first map of Villa. It's going to be Guardians Imperium. This is their map pick, and Black Dragons are going to opt to go onto the defense in our final best of 3 of the night, but also our penultimate LATAM Playday. Guardians are the final Challenger League team left in this bracket. We had quite a few Challenger League teams in the bracket, but they were all removed, unfortunately, for them.
So a lot of pressure, I think, riding on Black Dragons' shoulders more than anything. In these kind of tournaments, we're always pitching the Pro League teams to always dominate. The only kind of example I think that we could say that definitely isn't going to be the case would be an EU, where even like Force and BDS, they're now Pro League teams.
Yes, they are Pro League teams.
We'll still count them as Challenge League, though. We'll still count them there, I think.
They are Season 10 Challenge League teams.
We'll still count them there, but like they're the only exception. Of course, Secret is also in there for the running, so there's another one. So EU is kind of like, you know, we could easily build like how many leagues in EU could we build with good teams? Too many.
Too many, definitely way too many. But we are going to be seeing the Defender bans come through. It's going to be Guardians who ban out the Mirror. Blood Dragons are left with the final ban. Thinking probably the Echo here. They're going to be banning out pretty quickly. I'm going to guess Echo. And yeah, it is going to be confirmed to be the Echo. So some pretty standard bans there. We've seen a lot of Thatcher bans come out of LATAM today.
We have done. It makes sense for a map like Villa, where getting open walls is a bit of a hassle whenever you're dealing with Kaid and Bandit, but I don't know. Whenever I think, even if Thatcher is on the board, not Bandit tricking, Impact tricking is still going to be like the big thing you have to worry about, because you can do it not only on the AVG side of things, but also in towards the bedroom, which is like the main two sides. And I'm pretty sure you can do it for laundry also in the kitchen bomb site. So there isn't like, I wouldn't say it's like the biggest waste of like utility. Still, you know, it's going to be annoying to deal with, sure. But whenever Black Dragons don't even bring like a Kaid or like a Bandit, well, then you kind of start to worry. But that just kind of leads into the Impact tricking. Oh, but there's a 6th pick.
Onto the Kaid, and we're going to see the 6th pick from the Nomad. Onto the Nomad coming out from Kaneho. This, Guardians had a really, really good matchup in their best of 16. They did really, really well for themselves, and we did see a lot of kind of entry fragging coming out from Senkai, so it's kind of weird to see him on the Monty here. We didn't see too much Monty coming out from Guardians during their matchup, but as we head into round number 1, it's going to be Black Dragons who start up on the defense. And yeah, I think like you're right about Black Dragons' roster. It is a very big mix-up of a lot of very kind of like classic players from
yeah,
LATAM.
they've been around a while. Live was a guy who kind of impressed me last time whenever we seen him play, so I'm expecting big things from him once more. I don't know. I just kind of look at Black Dragons and I think, you know, there's something cooking there. There's really something that we can definitely dig our claws into and really search through and try and see if there is a bit of potential for Black Dragons to even go up against LMBR, who we thought looked really well tonight, didn't they, James?
Yeah, I mean, there's already been one big upset. I wouldn't be surprised if we found another one go through, but I guess we'll just have to have a look.
I don't know. I think Black Dragons take this any day of the week.
Oh, we'll definitely see how it's going to go down. But Kingstar already very lit up. I'm not sure what happened there.
Oh no, it's yeah, it's not fun.
For his team's own sake, we're going to say there was a spawn peak,
yeah.
but
we'll say that he got involved with Jigsaw and he had to give up some life to try and make it through.
Yes, very funny. So we're going to see the kind of a master bedroom take coming out here from Guardians. There's a bit of reinforcements coming out here, and we've seen this already from LATAM teams who do hold quite aggressively onto the statue side. Kingstar trying to move his way through onto Astro. It looks like as Live is going to meet them, but is going to go down for some great droning work coming out from Guardians there. Is going to deal the first kill of the round.
Senkai also outside of that main window towards the west side of the map. This is kind of like the cut-off connector window, I would say, that kind of separates the AVG side through Trophy Statuary. And having the shield there, I don't really know if it does a lot, but hey, he doesn't have to deal with anything. The Guardians, everybody else has managed to push in from that Statuary and Trophy. And now they've kind of solidified themselves, and the push will start to come in from that north side. So I'm curious to see how Black Dragons will try and respond, and that's a quick engagement. And now Kano, and still also Kingstar, they have to be aware now of their HP. Whenever Legion's on the board and Smoke as well, all it takes is a little bit of damage, and that's them off the table. Yeah,
good point about the Legion as well. Definitely doing the damage, but also the Monty's got to be very aware of the Legion. Can be very, very deadly for a Monty, but Kano, talking about being deadly, is going to take Panico straight off the board. That is a Legion gone, so no worries there. Just about a minute left to go on the clock, and we will see a Vault push be coming down. Senkai is stopping anyone from pushing aggressively outside of the bar area into games, and Kaneho cutting off Study as well. So really nice surrounding that's coming out from Guardians here. I like this.
No Habana, so instead they will try and opt to open up just a little bit of the feet coverage, and that works well for Guardians, and they're on the cusp of a flawless round. Senkai now spots out where Valkyrie is, And that's the flawless for Guardians. Wow, that's impressive.
Really good start from Guardians. Good droning coming out from them. Black Dragons very, very isolated during their defense there. As we'll see Guardians all tying it up. I particularly did like the vault wall being open like that because even if there had been like a kind of like bandit trick going through there or anything like that, just opening it so there's a bit of a prone hole there, allowing you to just cut off the rotate rather than let them have now an opening into 90 that they can now run through if they win that initial gunfight. I do really like that from Guardians. So we're going to be going back to AVG for Black Dragons. They're going to try and correct their mistakes. So very different attitude from Black Dragons to what Team 1 had.
AVG again, though, for Black Dragons. How will they respond? We kind of touched upon their hold of trophy statuary that, yes, it's not an uncommon occurrence for many teams to go that route. The fact that Live was left by himself makes no sense to me. If you're holding that side of the map, you need to support that man. Every single team that holds that particular side of the map on this bomb site, they always do it in pairs. They always have somebody supporting because you need that refrag potential. Really baffles me that he's playing there by himself and nobody from Black Dragons is able to look at it and say, hold on a minute, should we really leave him behind? I don't think so.
It's interesting that they haven't brought Monty this time. Like, I think that Guardians is kind of trying to stay ahead of the curve here, that maybe they're expecting Black Dragons to be a little bit more aggressive, viewing the Dokubi to try and shut it down.
It's just you need to work in twos, James. You need to have the crossfires, you need to have the refrag potential. That's like basic 101 of Siege to be like, a good, that for me, refrag potential kind of separates a good team from a great team. Because if you're by yourself, nobody can hear you scream in space.
Didn't I kind of already use that one?
No. You did not use that one.
I think I kind of did.
No, you worded it differently.
Well, we're going to be moving into round number 2, and we'll see exactly how this is going to be playing out. Black Dragons have the work to do. Already losing that round on the defense on a core site, that is not great for them. And no, they left the Maestro camo live and alone on 90, and it looks like it did get picked up. That's unfortunate.
Bomb located by attackers.
Okay, Guardians. Looking at their lineup, pretty aggressive. You have the Dokubi to try and give a little bit more explosiveness into the bomb site. F2 being brought. No Montagna. They felt as if, hey, well, it worked, but it didn't really work as how we intended. Maybe we're just better bringing in another operator who could frag as well as what Kingstar can. And
I'm assuming Maestro has Impactor, and that's what he's going to try and do here from behind the bar, but without Kayed, it's going to be hard to try and stop this wall from getting open. Flashbangs are going to go over the bar. That should be explosives going out. The Nitro does go out, and the Impact Trick was successful as well. The Nitro doesn't catch the Thermite just yet. Brady able to get back up, and Live has made its way onto 90.
Just lurking now for Black Dragons. Not making the first move. Waiting for Guardians to try and slip up and fall into their trap is Wag is not ready somehow. Whenever you're playing that position, you expect the smoke to win those, but instead Guardians, they get the upper hand. PZD now has to take the form mantle off his teammate. Even Panico. So a nice crossfire being established on that main door, but there's still more pressure being applied toward that long corridor, but the position that Live is in is like the perfect one he could be in.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Guardians so far, honestly. They only have a minute left to go on the clock, but they're going to be able to do the work. Kingstar goes move in and takes out GDM, but Live instantly trades that out. Kingstar does go down. Live is out of it, and Kano will secure the kill. It's now a 4v2. Panico trying to do the work here to try and deny all this entry, but he has no impacts remaining to deny this Thermite going onto the wall. It will be opened up, and this is not looking good for PZD, as he holds this very nice angle behind the bar, does manage to find the down and the kill. KDS is out of it as he goes for a retake, but no, will get shut down in the refrag coming out from Brady. This is all down to Panico to try and find a 1v2 here to make it work for Black Dragons, but no, he'll get shut down, and Guardians looking strong on Villa here.
I don't know what it is about Black Dragons. The way that they're playing it, their setup looks really strong. You have a ton of information that nobody from Guardians seem to really care about, and you're just losing the 1v1s. Really questionable from Smoke very early on, not winning that. I don't get why he didn't win it. So that's already 2 Villa defensive-sided losses for Black Dragons. And now we move over to Trophy, see if that can fare them better.
Yeah, so we're going to go to a trophy statutory room, as you said. And again, we're going to proceed in the Dokkaebi being brought here. But Guardians should be aware that there is going to be a bit of a change-up in sight. As you can see, a little bit of a change-up in setup since we brought both the Maestro and the Kai at this time coming out from Black Dragons. So, we'll have a look how this is going to be working out exactly. This is definitely a bit of a harder site to hold on to. But I think actually this is easier in terms of like impact tricking. And if Guardians are going to go for heavy, kind of like pushing, opening up the wall and stuff like that, it's going to be a lot easier for Black Dragons to know that while they've got 2 sets of impacts, possibly 3 sets of impacts coming out from the Kayad as well as the Nitro coming out from PZD.
We'll see how they work with it. And Trophy Statuary, it does also open up for potential AVG hold from the defenders, and that's another common occurrence. And we'll see that once more for Black Dragons. Guardians sticking with the same lineup they had the last round, so definitely not going with the Montagna. Going with the Twitch, going with the Dokkaebi, gives them that fragging potential and fragging power. All 2 speeds across the board for them. Black Dragons, again, more information. They're bringing the Valkyrie. They have the Maestro. Not really utilizing it, though. We haven't seen some real coordinated pushes from them, and I'm starting to worry, though, for Black Dragons, because at this stage, you would expect at least a round from them.
You definitely would expect a round from them at this point. Not winning any of the Aviator defenses, it's a tough one to come back from, but if Black Dragons can win this site, at least they have that site in their back pocket. Guardians looking very, very good right now. As drones come out in heavy amounts around this Aviator side, as PZD from 90 is going to try and shut this down, but very isolated himself here as he gets on cams.
Not a lot happening, though. It's very stale. Very quiet.
I really like the Dokkaebi pick actually here, because it's a good counter to Maestro and it's a good counter to Valkyrie as well on top of that. As well as able to, you know, hack the cams and you get all that info back for yourself. And we said that Black Dragons, they have a lot of info here, but that can act against you if your cams are hacked and your roamers are isolated.
Yeah, just like a killer likes it. Nice and quiet. Just ready to pounce.
So, Guardians still going to be droning out as well. Trying to move through onto Statutory and see exactly what they want to do. KDS getting all his drone in just back behind the statue, but no, Wag could take it off the boards. KDS moving up to try and avenge it. It's going to be Wag who takes down Kingstar. Great opening frag coming out from Black Dragons here as Live is up on that roam. And Wag is actually regaining that control over the Astro side as well. This hammer and anvil strategy not working too well for Guardians so far.
Still for Black Dragons, they have full control of the roam game. Oh, I say that. Kano enters in from below, eliminates PZD. KDS just so close, and there's Nubik also. Oh no, not even a kill for both sides. I thought that was a sure one for Sophia. But still, it's even territory. But the fact that Guardians doesn't have a real way into bomb site kind of hinders them here. They're basically pushing into one-way traffic as, say that, Brady does open up onto GDN, but there's the rotate in from the Jäger, and he should be able to put this to bed as Senkai appears out of nowhere and does eliminate Panico. Wag the only man on site, so 2v3 and Guardians, they actually have the upper edge now.
Live does have Diffuser here, however, just outside of the couch, and Live's going to be pushing up. He finds one, Wag finds another, and it's all swung into the favor of Black Dragon. So Danza Senkai is on the roof, and he's going to try and get through into sight, but they're going to know he's coming through into the bathroom. He's going to have to make a very loud entrance through here. He's got 5 seconds left to go on the clock. He has to find 2 kills. He doesn't have Diffuser, and he has no hope whatsoever. With a Logia Bomb still alive, but no, not able to find it at all. Black Dragon, stick round number 3. Looking very good for them. So far, you know, they have that in their pocket, and if they can take these next 3 defense rounds, they need that offsite, really. They can still make this work. I think they've learned you do not roam heavy against this team, or if you do roam heavy, you need to be very, very patient.
It was very patient for many moments of that. It took its time to really build up. A couple of times we've seen, like, Jäger pop up, you know? There's a couple of jump scares before the big finale.
Yeah, no, there has been. I mean, Live kind of was doing the work downstairs, just bottom red, trying to just make his way up there. But he was patient with it. He didn't let himself get caught out. And consequently, they won the round. Panico is going to be moving from the Legion onto the Pulse. As we're going to go to AVG once more. And we'll see if Guardians can continue to dismantle this.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Okay, AVG up and coming. let's see if it'll treat them well or trick them more so than not. I look at Black Dragons and I look at their setup and I'm thinking, you have to be heavy roaming if you're bringing the Pulse. You have to be playing below. You're playing Living Room, more importantly, which I was kind of expecting, but they actually run over towards Trophy Statuary. I could see Live and PCD playing in Trophy Statuary and have Panico below. I could see that being a possibility.
10 seconds remaining.
Camera in
5
position.
seconds to go.
So, we'll have a look what Black Dragon's defense is looking like here, and yeah, I think the Pulse playing below, like maybe like a lounge area kind of roam could be a very big possibility here, but it looks like Live's actually going to go for the spawn peek here. He's going to run all the way out, but not able to find anyone just yet, unfortunately for him. He's going to be just falling off. Black Dragon's unable to find an early pick, but still looking good. I definitely like the Pulse being brought into this lineup, because the Pulse could actually also fall off through the arches, go downstairs, and go into lounge as well.
So I think it plays out for them. Guardians again taking their time, making sure the droning is complete, and they're happy with what they have. Then they'll push in, then they'll try and get the frags and win the round from there. I like that they've realized that there is a Pulse and they will be sweeping from below. This makes a lot of sense, and whenever Black Dragons did play down here in the last round, there's Live again, who I was expecting to turn up this game, is finally starting to get something going for him. Oh, that was lucky timing for Live, just to barely scrape on past Sophia. But now he's in the toilet. I love that just room name, toilet.
Yep, just toilet. But they're going to realize that he is here, going to be shooting out the window here. As Live still playing very aggressively, but he's being kind of cornered right now. He's going to get all the way out. What? He gets the down, but not the kill, as he gets traded out instantly by KDS. Live does go down, and now we're in a 4v4. Kingstar is out of it as well as Kaho. Oh my god, Panico using that UMP and using that pulse scanner to find one as Wag finds another. But no, it looks like he's going to be traded out here. But no, Senkai and Wag don't actually find each other there.
Death from above right there. That was great stuff from Dragons to try and confirm that down. And that's a 2v4. Guardians hit a roadblock. See if they can try and get past it. That's nice gun skill from Senkai. But 3 more to go. Hacking into the cams. That means those Black Eyes and Maestro cameras alike will be uncovered. Brady now into a 2v2, but it's taking a lot of damage for it though. So still not looking winnable. And this constant information being gained. This is one thing that OGA cannot hack into, is the cardiac scanner. And honestly, I think at this stage, just has to be a lockout from Black Dragons. Information being gathered. Maestro has that LMG, full HP. He can see exactly where they're coming from. It should just be sold now. And, well, Panico, take him out.
Oh my god, that was so good from Panico. Great use of the intel there coming out from him. He's managed to find 2 kills through that pulse scanner info. And it's all silence to Senkai. He's going to push up main stairs and see what he can do here. He doesn't have diffuser. He doesn't have any utility left remaining, but he still has access to the defender's cams. So he should be able to use that a little bit to his advantage. It is a 1v2. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got to know there's someone in Vault right now, and that will be Panico. Still holding on as he does. Moves all the way in. Oh, he takes out Panico! But no, instantly just get traded out by GD. And Blood Dragon stick runner before. Much better defense is coming out from them, and they need 2 more if they want to bring this in for themselves. But now they have to go to an offside demo.
They do. And it will more than likely be the kitchen. I don't think living room will be a bomb site they'll want to try and take themselves to. And yes, it will be the kitchen. Okay, so you look at that entire defense from Dragons. Live, again, had another big part in that round. And really, we're expecting this man to pop off. We're expecting him to be top fragger. He had a great performance last match whenever they played here at OGA. But now you're going up against a team, a more solidified team in the form of Guardians. And if you can really show up there, then that's whenever we really start to see players like really take the bull by the horns, take the demon by the horns, we could say, and just throw it to the ground.
We'll see the Kayad pick onto the Mozzie instead, coming out from GDN. As we move into round number 5 and have a look at what's going to be going down, but we see the Thinker coming out from Guardians all of a sudden, as well as the IQ. So a couple of new additions here. I do like the IQ pick into this lineup. There's a lot of work that IQ can do from above here. And Guardians have obviously got to know that they have to go to an offside, so it's going to be vertical control. That is going to be pretty key here.
Are they going to rush? I feel as if they will, just because
they could
Finker's
go
on the
like
board.
pantry stairs and just go for the rush there.
That would be like the obvious one to go for, and I feel that it could be potential, but whenever I see most of their drones pre-placed towards the southwest side of the map, then I'm not too sure. They do bring a Thermite still, so you know there's options there to open up laundry, but not a lot of soft destruction, so I don't think they'll go upstairs.
That is true, actually, yeah. They don't actually have too much soft destruction. They do have breach charges from Kano, however, and that could definitely work for them. They also have the Ash as well, and that generally they do bring the breaching rounds with there. So we do actually see an upstairs push coming out from Guardians so far. No rush coming out from them from pantry stairs just yet.
A couple of drones now being sent in by Guardians, and well, those pre-placed drones it did kind of let us see what they were hoping for. It will be a clear sweep. But since they don't have soft destruction, and I really question why they would go upstairs anyway, why not just go for the rush whenever you know that like every defense defends upstairs anyway? Is there a real point for trying to push it? In my eyes, no. So, Black Dragons, they should have an easier time now to deal with. It just comes down to them getting their crossfires and winning their gunfights, and, well, GDN opens up, and so does BC? I was about to say BC for some reason. PZD gets that one. So many just letter acronyms, isn't there, just throughout the world of Siege?
Pretty much. It's going to be Kingstar above alone right now, but Brady's there to back him up. Another Pinker Booth is going to be going out. Is going to be trying to open it all up, but goes for the nade. But no, there's someone right there, right in front of you, and he tends the kill. What? How does Panico lose that? He's going to go down to it, and it's going to be now a 4v3. Great early pick coming out from Guardians, but they're going to need a few more if they want this to work. They've only just been able to gain that upstairs control away from Panico. Black Dragons are looking really good right now.
Still just holding firm in bomb site. Don't have to do a lot. They know that Guardians are under pressure. You're a man down, no soft breach. Sure, you have your Thermite available, but nothing really to play off. Like, Thermite's like nowhere near to open up the wall. Like, he's nowhere near that laundry. Instead, wants to push in towards Tarps, where Sinkai has an aid, looking to try and push that over the top. And that will be a double kill, though, but it won't be in form of Guardians and Black Dragons. Just, they all line up, and they all fall down.
Great backup from GDN here with the crossfire and the double peak coming through. He was able to shut it all down coming through there. As Black Dragons will take the offsite. And this is the Black Dragons that we know and love. If they win this round, then they're finding themselves at a 4-2 scoreline, which we expect. But this is Guardians' little opportunity now to go into that second half with a bit of an advantage for themselves.
Indeed. And you always want to have that advantage, don't you? A nice 4-2 sets you up for a couple of errors, if you do have them. Guardians still rocking with that Finka. I
feel like he's going to be 6 picked. I think he's going to take a Nomad instead. Okay, he's going to be 6 picked into a smoke. No 6 pick from the Finka, though. He's pretty happy with that one. No 6 pick from the Dekebi either. I thought the Monty actually worked quite well for Senkai, and I feel like if they kept bringing it, would be good as well.
To be fair, in that first round, Monty did absolutely nothing because he didn't need to do. He didn't get the chance to do anything.
I think he was good of so they took control of 90.
Yes.
And then the Monty pushed down the hallway and managed to block out that whole bar area.
Yes.
And they were able to kind of force their way onto 90.
By the time that he got in that position, everybody was dead, and it was just the Valkyrie left in a 1v5.
Yeah.
Literally everybody just got picked from the from games.
Think about it this way instead. The Dokkaebi has not really done too much for them.
It gave Senkai a gun.
That's true.
So you can see he's got some kills. Brings nade as well.
Yep.
I think it's still better than a Monty.
10 seconds left.
Well, as we move into round number 6, we'll see Black Dragons with yet another hold of the statutory room. Last time, this was a pretty aggressive hold from them as well. They had like Live playing his life downstairs as well as PZD. So pretty aggressive holds coming out from them kind of across the board. See how round number 6 gets underway as WAG is going to be playing very aggressively onto this master bedroom and see what he can do there with the Alder.
Swapping mags!
Alrighty. Black Dragons again with this nice, strong, and stiff roam game, but an even stiffer amount of drones coming at him. He has to try and flee in terror, or else he's going to get hunted down, and everything just gonna fall apart for Black Dragons pretty much every time that they lose that first blood. Guardians just seem to have a lot more energy around them, a lot more morale going for it. But still, nothing. Again, it's really weird to go from what happened from Team 1 MIBR and even from what we've seen from Elevate and INTZ, which was very fast action, not that slow. And this map specifically is a lot more slower than what we're kind of expecting from LATAM. It's a weird change of pace, James, isn't it?
It definitely has been. Oh, but the impact trick is going to be coming out, and PZD is going to score the first kill of the round. A nice wide peek from Astro. He's going to be able to eliminate him off the board. Nades are going to come out, but PZD gets traded. And this is looking all of a sudden not much better as Kano moves in and he capitalizes. He takes out Wag, and oh no! For the Zofia, GDN is going to lock it down onto Split. He should be able to peek out additionally onto this, but Kano's going to take him down, but does get himself fragged out as well, as Live and Panico lock it out for themselves. It's all down to Senkai in a 1v2 to try and bring this in. He doesn't have too much utility available, he does have these logic bombs available to himself. He should be able to recover the diffuser as well.
Okay, Senkai. How well can you hold your nerve? 1v2, diffuser's right beside you. Go pick it up. Just don't be dumb. Go pick it up. Don't tell me he's playing for the frags with an SMG-12 at this distance.
Oh!
Nice. Don't get carried away, James. Still one more to go.
Yeah.
Don't get too excited.
I mean, he's got diffuser now. He doesn't have too much
Has
utility,
a
but he
logic
does
bomb as
have
well.
another logic bomb deployed, of course. He's going to deploy that, and he's got the shield nicely set up for him to be able to put this diffuser down. Panico's surely going to know he is planting there. And Senkai gets off the plant and slowly pushing around. 30 seconds left to go on the clock. Senkai is actually looking really good right now. Panico is very low HP, and Senkai, again, going to go for the plant. Panico's got to know where he is indeed planting. He's got to just wait until he does push up. Senkai goes for the plant behind the shield, but Panico takes him down and will be able to easily counter defuse.
And that was really well played, though, by Panico to be able to kind of bait him in the first time of going off the defuse, and then he made him stick it. So a lot of 50-50s kind of being played there. Unfortunate that the Dokkaebi just didn't have enough time to get ready, get the weapon up. And Panico, an easy swing around from him, and Black Dragons, they were 2-0 down. Now they're 4-2 up, and this is what we were expecting from them. But now they go to the attack, and Guardians, they get to have a go at the defense. I really don't. This can go either way, James. It's still really up in the air, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Like, this was a really good start for Guardians, but unfortunately we were not able to close out another round. 2-4, 4-2 scoreline. You know, you contend with that. That's the baseline. You know, you're fine. And this is now going to be Black Dragons' ability to try and close this out quickly, because Villa is a map that can really drag on if you can't gain the momentum on attack, and attack is not easy at all on this map. So we'll have a look what they want to do here exactly, as we're going to go to an Aviator and Games Room defense once again from Guardians this time.
Clash. Clash, 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 clash.
Yep, that's the operator.
Yes, James, that's correct. I don't know if I said it enough for you. No mirror, makes sense to bring that operator who was kind of like the B-Tech version. You know whenever like your mom would say, "Ah, don't worry, we have like food at home."
Yep.
That's that right there.
Yeah.
10 seconds to go.
I think Clash can be good here. It's kind of annoying to try and force her off of that kind of hallway area going to 90. So, like, she can play aggressively down there, and it's kind of reminiscent of the shield strategy that we saw last game, but this time it's an actual full-on shield rather than a deployable shield.
Yeah, it is. Black Dragons in their setup, only the Maverick is their kind of breacher, but he's not, like, the best one compared to Habana and Thermite. A lot of roam hunting capability, though, with the Dokkaebi and Jackal combination, and also a nice set of smokes goes a long way. I'm curious to see how Guardians will set up knowing that there is going to be Jackal on the board. Will they play a lot more reserve? Will they still go for the hunt? You know, we've seen time and time again where Jackal is like such a massive operator on maps like Villa and Bank. It just alleviates so much pressure away from the attackers. It's a bit of like a... it's a bit like whenever you're in like a scenario, and whenever things just go up again, I don't even know where I'm going with this. Come back to me. I'll have a think about
Okay,
that.
I'll come back to you.
back to me.
So Katie is going to be playing very aggressively up onto this trophy roam, but eventually does get caught out on the aggressive push coming out from Live through onto Astro. It looks like he's going to be able to find another one sooner rather than later as he pushes all the way up. No, he doesn't see the leg. There we go. He gets the pre-fire Live, takes out King Star. And this is a great dismantling from Black Dragons.
It's like whenever you're going up against a Jackal, it's as if someone has just handicapped you where you can only now move within like a certain area. Like you don't have that same flexibility. You know, you think about like other video games, it's like Mario being shrunk down to like the one mushroom size, isn't it? You don't really have like a lot of options to kind of make mistakes because Jackal will punish you. And I think on top of like Jackal's like great utility that he gets with the smokes and of course the gadget, the gun is like another big thing when you take it. Like the C70, it's, remember back whenever that first got released, you remember that unholy weapon literally on the same levels of like an Exorcist.
You really do find a way to put the puns in
Yep,
there, but it's
I
good. The
always
clash
do.
is going to be off the board from Panico, and all of a sudden we're all down to Senkai. No Nitro remaining on the clock, and it's going to be all down to his SMG-11. He does find Live, but he's got to find 3 more and the diffuser if he wants to bring this in at all. Diffuser's gone down behind the bar. This is definitely clutchable, but that diffuser's slowly doing its work, and he's just going to potato out a bit as Black Dragons take the round. And I think this is going to continue to go the way of Black Dragons by the looks of it.
How many movies have I missed? Have I missed any yet tonight? I think I've got most of the big ones, haven't I?
Could you name every single horror movie? Like, and then
I could
count
name a
percentage
good few,
of
James.
what you've actually missed?
I could name a good few. Have I made a Scream reference? I don't think so. Scream's,
No.
Scream's a tough one, though.
Scream's a tough one, yeah.
I've done Friday the 13th, Nightmare. I've even done Alien as well. I've done a lot.
You've done a lot.
How many have you done?
I did one. I got Alien.
You've done one.
But then you stole that from me
No,
as
because
well.
you did it wrong. Because
okay,
you didn't say space. You just said no one can hear you scream or something like that, but you didn't actually get the phrase right.
Yeah, on coastline, no one can hear you scream.
Ah, I see what you did there. I get you props to that one. That was nice. But then I just went up and just, you know, I didn't even include a Siege reference. I just went up and said it. I want another one, James. Actually, I want another 2 before this night's over.
want
So
another 2?
start moving.
Okay.
Start getting it going. Keep her going.
Well, before we get to that, we're going to be moving to round number 8. And again, we're going to be seeing the Clash strategy coming out. And Black Dragon's pretty content with this lineup that they've brought. It is interesting they brought the Maverick. I'm not against it in a way, because I think if they did this again, like statutory push, you can use Maverick to open up quite a lot of sightlines, like, for example, from the bathroom into Astro, and from the 90 into Vault as well. Like, some nice sightlines that Maverick can have. And that's really, I think, all you need in terms of hard breaching, just use to cut off sightlines.
Yeah. I think that whenever you can have that, like, accessibility of putting in, like, defenders of, like, a really awkward position, that always helps. Like, how many times have we seen, like, defenders just panic? And as soon as you start panicking in a game, it never goes well. Like, you always know someone's panicking whenever they just start, like, 180ing, aiming in, trying to do these reaction shots and stuff. It's always funny to see, isn't it?
It can be. It
Oh,
can
I
be.
like this, because this is similar to what we've seen from what Elevate did. But
Yep.
instead of the deployable shield, they actually have like a full class shield to try and do that. Black Dragons have just lost their first guy, but also Guardians have lost theirs. So it's even at the moment, but Wag also did take a lot of damage for it. Trying to look for some footprints, but those are red hot, I believe, from the Vigil that they've already killed.
So yeah, Vigil is going to be going down very early on. But Black Dragons have actually lost a man in this roam clear. This was actually a really efficient roam clear from them last time, and I'm not really sure the Clash helped too much last time, but the Clash still will be here and helping out. But on the upside on Repel, oh, there goes GDN. Completely rocked off it by Kingstar. Great shot from him. But Live was really the man of the hour here the last time they did a roam clear. And Jackal, yeah, as you said, it makes it very, very, very hard to roam against and kind of limits your movement potential.
Also hacking in to the cameras. Only the Valkyrie cameras will be hackable. No Maestro, like we've seen from Black Dragons. They've brought that specific operator. Just the Valkyrie. IQ got eliminated very early on, so that's like a good solution. That's another thing that we kind of always figure out about Dokkaebi, is that she is also a counter to Valkyrie cameras and Maestro. but nobody really gets like that. We don't see it as often as what I think that we're used to seeing. Like, we should be seeing that happen a lot more, but it's very rare, and I don't get why it is, because it seems so simple.
I like this rotate coming out from Blood Dragons, but I also like Guardians now reinforcing that side of Bar and making sure that they can't abuse that side of it, and now opening up for impact tricking and for Nitros as well. This is looking good for Guardians to actually hold on to this as the area that man advances. They've also got the Clash still up on the board, and you can give them that decent amount of intel. Clash fans are going to go through, however, and Brady goes full white. As it's going to be Senkai, however, with a Nitro over the top. It's going to take off the board Panico.
Black Dragons struggling a lot against the Clash whenever they don't have their Sophia up, as Live does eliminate Senkai, who got a little bit too carried away with the over-peakage. But still, I feel Black Dragons, they're locked out. They have no way in. Guardians have full control. Nice shot by Wag, though, but still a lot of work to be done. There's the C4, the final C4 to be tossed, and now Live has to go big or go home, and I think he's headed home.
And he's going to be peeking out, but nope, he'll get put down as Guardians will take round break in their very first defense here on Villa. Things looking a little bit better for them, and I think really like them killing the Zofia and the IQ really early on in that roam clear really slowed everything down for Blood Dragons. They didn't have the man advantage to be able to complete that roam clear that they had so strong last time, and we're going to be able to go now to a trophy statutory. I wonder if Guardians are going to do something similar where they hold aggressively with a Clash, but now on the other side. But I get the feeling they're not going to do that, but they are going to hold aggressively, but they're not going to bring the Clash this time.
Yeah, no Clash. It is going to be Trophy Statuary. Haven't seen this yet from Guardians. Curious to see how this one's going to play out. Whenever Black Dragons have no intention of taking Thermite or Habana, and only just the Maverick, it's going to be really tough for them to make a main breach entry into the site. Of course, still doable. You can still make some holes, but it's not going to be like as good as what a Thermite charge can do. More information, though, being brought by Guardians. They now have the Maestro on the table. Both sides very adamant in taking the Dokkaebi. Specifically, I don't know how I feel about Dokkaebi, because, like, she got nades, like, a while back, which kind of helped her. Not like a lot, though. I would say it's like okay to get them, but it's not like the be-all and end-all, like a make or break of that operator, simply because, first of all, she only has one primary, which isn't very good. It's DMR. Nobody likes that gun. C75 doesn't have like an actual sight, so that's not very good either. And SMG-12, the recoil is ridiculous. You need like a really good player on that operator to make it work.
Yeah, no, I mean, I call it the Lego brick, the MK14. It's definitely not a strong gun
A
at all.
Lego brick? Why'd you call it a Lego brick?
Because if you take the sight off and you look down the iron sights, it looks like a Lego brick.
Oh yeah, you told me about this before.
Yeah.
Wow. But who takes the sight off it then?
I like to experiment.
Why were you experimenting, James?
I'm just a, different
Just
breed,
a
I
curious, yeah, just different breed. That's all you need to say. You said it first, not me. You're a different breed. Thank you very much.
So, we'll move into round number 9. It's going to be the first statutory attack that we see from Blood Dragons. They brought the same lineup yet again, but I feel like the big issue with Blood Dragons wasn't their lineup, but the fact that they lost so many early gunfights last round. We'll see how their room clear continues to go down. I actually really like a Maverick on this specific site. Talking about, again, this like walk-in closet. If you open up a little of a sightline there, you can see all the way into Astro, and where Brady will normally be able to play here. Kano is going to be moving through into bathroom, however, and seeing what he can do on that side, but looking mostly pretty good for Guardians to hold down things here.
Definitely is. First blood goes in favor of Guardians. Vigil eliminates Dokkaebi, so South Korean action downstairs. And now Black Dragons, they're on the back foot, and every time they have been at a disadvantage, they have not looked as strong. Maverick will begin to open up, and this is where Thermite really would have came in handy, but they don't have that, unfortunately. Still creates a little bit of an impasse, though, that KDS has to deal with now. Just lying right underneath it. Kingstar even comes to try and support. Black Dragons very firmly trying to push in towards the Astronomy. Finally do eliminate Maestro. They're actually going to be in, so they have a nice foothold, but how can they capitalize on this? The fact that Valkyrie is still lurking is never going to be fun beside the reinforced wall, and they need to try and drone her out as quick as they can.
Yeah, lots of drones are going to be coming out here, but the signal disruptors are going to make things difficult indeed for Black Dragons to get that info. More Mavericks are going to be coming out. Nitro does go off the board, however, it's going to be Wag who finds that kill. And also PZD moving into Astro. Senkai shuts him down, however, GDN should be able to get in here and get some stuff going on. Wag supporting him on the Astro rotate as well, moving all the way in, and Wag does get that kill. They're going to know where the last one is. GDN shuts him down. It's all going to be all Black Dragons as they put themselves on match point on our first map here of Villa.
I'm really surprised that he walked away with that round after losing the Dokkaebi early on. That's your nades off the table. That's the logic bomb's gone as well. But still, they just keep going.
I think this has been a big issue for Guardians trying to deal with that Maverick, because he opened up that line just on the statue wall, and then we had the guy, the Thatcher, just outside of the wall. Just on, like, sorry, he was on, like, the balcony, aiming through. And you can see the Valkyrie was very distracted by that whole angle that was opened up. They weren't able to ever deal with what was going on there, and it completely splits the site in half when you do things like that. And that Astro take was just ended up seeming so nice and so fluid from Black Dragons.
Match point for Black Dragons. The first map could be under their belt and ready to go. This is Villa, just tuning in, and already we've had a very fun night. Very scary night. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, and if you're Team 1 fan, then a lot of downs for you. But MIBR really showing up in our second series. They move on to the semi-finals, and then we've also got one of our semi-finals already booked in. Team Liquid up against INTZ. That will be for the final play day of Latin America, but we need to see the other semi-final as we're still trying to figure out who will face MIBR. As right now, Black Dragons, they're looking not too shabby.
Yeah, and don't forget, this is Guardian's pick in terms of maps as well. So we're going to be going to Bank after this regardless of what the result is, and that is Black Dragons' pick. And Bank, pretty quintessential map here on Latin America, and we see it all the time, really. But we'll see exactly how this series is going to start to close out as we start to get maybe to the end of our first map. Black Dragons looking very, very good, as you mentioned, Damo. We're going to see a statutory and trophy hold once again, and this lineup has been so effective from Blood Dragons. I don't know if the Dokkaebi's been doing too much, but I really love the usage of Maverick here from Blood Dragons.
Oh, my!
What are you doing? Oh, Kano. He's going to run straight out there. He thought you really had to play with that one, but Panico going to shut him down very early on. And that's not good at all.
Wow, Kano, he did do that last time, the Panico, but this time around, he was ready for it. As Black Dragons, they have the lead, but KDS actually jumps out and eliminates the Maverick. That is such a pick. That's the only hard breach that we really see from Black Dragons.
Yeah.
And that's now off the table.
It was a huge issue last time as well, coming out for Guardians, and we've seen it be a little bit more effective now, as they will take the Maverick up off the board. That is a big pick indeed, as you mentioned. There's also a Diffuser down, but it's not going to mention that much because it is down in the Master in a very recoverable place. But oh no, call on the rotate. That's an incorrectly made rotate, and Live will pick it up for free. That is devastating. That's a massive mistake.
Live, he's that guy. He is the man that you need to kill, the hash-slinging slasher. As Black Dragons now, they are firmly in control, and they are looking to try and seal the deal with Goodnight Kiss. Guardians, though, still have some C4s alive and can try and pull this back, but it's going to be tough. There's the mute, gets trackled down. Two people now geared up, ready to try and push in towards Astronomy, going for the refrag fights, but still, for Guardians, they're holding strong.
They're holding strong indeed. Now a 3v4 situation. Guardians still going to be holding on, but Black Dragons at that man advantage. Going to be trying to push through Astro once again. As Live gets all the way in, does find his pick up onto Kingstar, but instantly traded out. But loads of trades going to be coming out. Is going to find the way of Black Dragons eventually as they snake their way into sight and win the round, win the map 7-3. Very well played by Black Dragons to take the map. And yeah, they're going to put themselves at a big advantage going in, because now we're going to be heading to Bank. That is going to be Black Dragons' map pick.
Wow, a rocky start for Black Dragons, but they've managed to get themselves back up on the horse, and they're riding into victory with one map going their way. We'll see you after the break.
absolutely stunning!
They are the champions!
Probably certain that they'll win the rest of the game as well. To be fair, just go for it.
Predict the outcome, win the game. Get live coverage and schedules for your favorite tournaments. Analyze, predict, and vote to gain points. Compete with other esports fans and climb the leaderboards. Strafe, everything esports. Download now on iOS and Android.